So many more people are alive today that would not have been alive because of the progress that we've made in treatment. And I go to bed every night believing that science can get us to the point where we can get to the end of this epidemic and that we can get to what feels very close to a functional cure.
So what I hope we will see over the next decade is a combination of treatment modalities that will address the spectrum of need, and I believe many of them will be aimed on long-acting agents, both for prevention and treatment.
We should continue to work with policymakers to ensure that community-based organizations, particularly those that are minority-led and serving, have the resources that they need to be able to provide holistic services to Black and brown communities that are disproportionately impacted. On the federal level, the local and state level, you have to bring them along. You have to educate them to explain to them why these funds are beneficial or crucial.
If we don't continue to keep the same energy and continue to fight, we will lose all of that and it'll be in vain. And future generations will think that that's how it's supposed to be, and that's not the case.
There's no borders. We have to address it here in the United States and across the world as well. And we have to make sure people living with HIV get the treatment that they need to survive.
One of the biggest challenges that we encounter as a community is how we deal with the stigma. Many times, media will stigmatize the voices of those most impacted. And then the best way to overcome that is to elevate the diverse voices of the community and honor them from different angles and perspectives.
While stigma has gone down, self-stigma has not. And so people still carry a weight. I call it sort of a PTSD, that the day that they were told that they were living with HIV is probably the worst day of their life. And so being reminded of that every day when you take a pill is something we want to take away.
Community partnerships are really key. And I think that often when we're doing this work, we've learned that we're not as much of a divided community as we think we are.
Everything is impossible until it's possible. And how far we've come is evidence of how far we can go to end HIV. We have to keep imagining, we have to keep thinking differently and doing differently and stepping outside that box and daring to be brave and challenging each other and having the courage to do things that haven't done before.
HIV should be everyone's business because everyone is HIV possible.
Regardless of your sexual orientation, regardless of your gender, regardless of your race.
This is the fight that we are all in together. And at the table that we're sitting at, it's not just with our supporters, with our adversaries, and those are our family members in making this possible.
We cannot have anybody to develop AIDS, and the only way to do that is to put a stop to HIV. We have the tools, let's do it together.
So if we were going to have a cure tomorrow, we have to have a society to make sure that everyone can access it. And that's going to take a lot of political will and community mobilization.
We can combine the best of our knowledge and the best of our thinking and the best of our experiences to really move the needle on progress and see the world be a better place.
Anything that our mind can conceive, we should pursue it with hope, with science, with innovation, through community, knowing fully well that with persistence, nothing is impossible.
I would be super proud to have been able to contribute in any way to us getting there.